I am super excited about this one. This is the, as you saw from the description, this is the Kershaw Launch 1. I just picked this one up today. And I mean, you can see right here, obviously, automatics are highly regulated. So laws are going to differ based on the area that you're in. Just so happens that my state does allow the carrying of automatics if you're 21 and older. So it just means you usually can't get these online. You've got to get them through local distributors. But this thing is just fantastic. I've been in love with this knife for a long time. I think the Launch line is pretty cool. There's just something about the Launch one that speaks to me. So let's go ahead and crack this open. Obviously, you know, the Launch one here, it's just saying I get the black wash version. Same thing, I just wanted this to be blacked out. I really love that knife. So when you dig in here, you get the knife itself. Looks like some instructions. I'll read those later. I don't need that. And there she is. Look at this. Oh, again, I love that knife. It just speaks to me, that design. You just have a nice thin design right along the edge here. A couple of divots. Because this thing is a plunge lock auto, you really don't have a need for any of the spacers or anything like that. It doesn't need the liner lock. These last couple of divots right there, those are actually going to be your lanyard hole. So if you do want to tie a lanyard to this, you certainly can. This clip, it's really interesting. That's kind of a stubby clip, a little bit shorter than what you normally find on a pocket knife, and it looks like that is reversible. So you can put that on either side for left or right-hand carry. It does have the American flag, so you're seeing a few Kershaws that are like this now, where they are the Made in America design. Yeah, really, really fast. I've tried some autos that are kind of sluggish in the way that they come out. That thing is just lightning fast. There it is. Just a push button, and it fires out. Now, one thing that I really like with that design, the plunge lock, just I find myself having a lot more confidence in that. If I go to, for example, my Link, this is the most recent one I did. I'll put a link to the video that I did a review on the Link. I love this knife. I think it's fantastic, great quality, especially for the price that you're getting, and still pretty quick for the assisted opening. The downside that I have no problem carrying a liner lock pocket knife. I just find that I don't usually use it for really get in there and work type stuff because of the liner lock. Now, some manufacturers have addressed this. You know, you look at the CRKTs that have kind of the secondary lock, can be a little bit of a pain, but you can still disengage it with one-hand operation and get that blade closed. I'm just always worried that somehow when I grip this thing, I'm going to accidentally just squeeze it hard enough to disengage that liner, and that's my worry. However, with this Launch, this is actually a, you're looking at a plunge lock. Push the button to fire it open, and then as you look in there, the only way to close that knife again is going to be through that plunge lock. So I have to push that plunger to get it to close again. And for me, that just means that I can grip this thing, I can really use it. I'm not hitting that plunger. I really don't have a danger of that. Again, you're not looking at a full tang knife, so I'm not going to baton wood or anything crazy like that, but I have more confidence in this thing staying open when I use it. So really, really happy there. As far as the button itself, I'll kind of zoom in here. You can tell that that is kind of recessed in there. And they've done that so that ideally this thing is not going to fire in your pocket and open it up. Now that time will tell, right? So I'll kind of carry this for a little while and see if anything happens there. But that's kind of the basic design. Just beautiful. Let's go ahead and get some shots of what this looks like in the pocket and pulling it out. Okay, and so that is the Launch. Let's go ahead and go over some stats here. You are looking at a blade length of 3.4 inches, closed length altogether of 4.6 inches, overall length is 8 inches, and the weight altogether is 4 ounces. Now, I have to say, this thing is surprisingly light. For when you pull that out, the first thing you notice is just how light that is because of the aluminum handle here. It just feels nice and light, but it doesn't feel cheap. There's not a rattle in the blade here. When I have that closed, you can see it's lining up just fine. We've got a blade steel of CPM 154. Now, certainly not like your high speed, like your S35 VNs or your D2s. However, there are a lot of people that argue the CPM 154 is just as good. It depends on who you talk to. The process for making this actually gives a nice distribution of the carbides throughout the metal. What that means is you're going to be able to put a very fine edge. Some people argue you can get a finer edge on this knife than the D2. And it's going to hold that edge for a nice long time. So you can get a razor's edge on this thing. It's going to last for a while, and it's not going to be impossible to get that edge back on there. Talk about price. They recommend selling it at $150. I'm finding these regularly at dealers about $100. I would say is pretty normal for the Launch series. I was actually about to head down and pick one of those up when I came across this at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I don't know if they were just having some crazy sale. This actually rang up at $75. So absolutely fantastic, half of the MSRP, and I am absolutely thrilled at this knife. So let's go ahead and give this thing a test. So that's our Launch 1 Auto. Again, I love this knife. I am super excited about it. Of course, I was really happy when I picked up the Link, and I still love that knife, but man, it's like this, it just adds a layer of refinement to it. I love the look, I love the feel, I feel like it's very well made, and I'm super happy with the price that I got it for. So, I hope you found this video useful. Please, share with your friends, like, subscribe if I've earned it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.